hello, hello. Welcome to Steel and Vance. It is a beautiful day. It feels like summer outside. Finally, the rains have lifted.
Oh, you're being all cheery, and all I can think of is gloom and stress and worry.
Oh.
Why? Because after, 6 months, we're finally going to get this huge decision on the Surrey Police Service. And I know you might not care if you're not in around Metro Vancouver, but there are thousands of people who do care. Taxpayers, RCMP, Surrey Police Service. My husband is the chief of the Surrey Police Service, and we are going to find out finally tomorrow morning,
one way or the other,
who is going to actually be the police of jurisdiction in Surrey.
So it's either the RCMP, just for those who are catching up on this story, it's either the RCMP that are established in Surrey, and the new mayor, well, we're still saying new mayor of Surrey, Brenda Locke, on the podium while she was being anointed mayor, basically said,
first thing she was going to do is fire my husband. Anyway, that's been our life for 6 months. So we're going to know.
It's gone to the Solicitor General, though. So it's gone to Mike Farnworth to make the decision between a municipal force, which is SPS, Surrey Police Services, or the RCMP. And the decision on this post says expected this week. It's tomorrow morning. It's like 13 hours from now.
I need some of this.
13 hours from now. What are you drinking there? What's your Cascadia today, babe?
We have to hear first from Rob Shaw.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about Rob Shaw. Sorry, Rob Shaw. Bring us the news from the legislature, because this press briefing is going to happen in Victoria. Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, Jody and Lynda, one of the biggest decisions on the political calendar here, what to do about the Surrey police situation. Solicitor General Mike Farnworth making that call tomorrow in a lengthy technical briefing where we're going to get likely a list of conditions here on whatever decision he makes in terms of concerns he's raised on officers being pulled from other police departments, HR issues jeopardizing police recruitment and public safety. Those will likely be his key concerns as he goes into deciding whether to keep the RCMP in Surrey or allow the transition to continue for the municipal Surrey police force, and the implications of that, a complex political dynamic. Surrey is the power base of the NDP. They want to make sure they're reading the public sentiment correctly in this decision, and whether Mayor Brenda Locke has that sentiment well represented as well. So a lot of fallout from this. Of course, you and I will chat some more about it, I'm sure.
Totally, we will. You know what? Rarely have I seen something this tight-lipped, though, because I've been poking around. Who knows? No leaks. Nobody knows. And people are like, well, Lynda knows. I'm like, Lynda doesn't know.
I think I know what I want to know. But anyway, we'll find out.
I know what you want to know.
I want to know. Okay, well, let's just talk about things other than the Surrey Police Service, like our sponsor, Cascadia Liquor.
And you're drinking what today?
Well, this is a Moscato, which I had to Google because I didn't know what that was. It's sort of a sweet and a bit tart, sort of slightly fizzy drink. It's good. I like it. And Cascadia, locally owned and operated, and they have like a super awesome selection, so go check it out. And if you're lucky enough to be around one.
And people will help you with your decision. If you're like, I'm having this for dinner, they can help you with that.
Yeah.
Yes. Coming up on the show today, we have a very busy program. We're going to get to, we almost need to do that happy dance we did when we found out that Donald Trump was indicted, because on Monday.
Like, Tucker's gone.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that. I mean, were you surprised?
Tucker Carlson, Fox News, has parted ways with him, so that's a big deal because he was the most popular cable news anchor.
Yeah, 3 million viewers a night.
News anchor. He's not a news anchor host.
Yeah, exactly. There was no news about him, really.
Right.
It was, and he even admitted to it in those text messages in the Dominion lawsuit, and that is what speculated led to his firing. Also, that some of those text messages were not so flattering of the people upstairs in the Murdoch family, and they don't take too well about that. We'll get into all of those things. And then Don Lemon.
He wasn't the only one yet. Don Lemon, gone at CNN. He had some kind of a checkered past.
We've talked about him here.
Misogynistic and sort of silly comments, so
Past
he's not
prime,
overly
Don.
worried about it. But we are going to talk to someone about this, Tim Caulfield.
Yes.
Who's been on the show before. He's a guy who sort of calls out the kind of conspiracy theories. Disinformation, yeah. He's a U of A
professor.
Yeah, so he's going to join us later in the show.
Professor of Law. Can't wait to have Timothy Caulfield on here. We're going to talk King Charles and the coronation. Do you care?
No, but we'll save that for later because there's a new poll that says a lot of Canadians are kind of like, I don't really care about this.
Right.
And we are going to have Shachi Kurl on the show. She is the president of the Angus Reid Institute.
You recognize Shachi Kurl there, don't you?
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing. She'll
we
be
also have a couple from Courtney. They are the grieving parents whose son died from the top toxic drug supply. 6 years ago this week, his name is Ryan Hedekin, who passed away. And his parents are going to join us because they're super mad at the government for not doing all that they could as quickly as they might to solve this.
You have to stay tuned for their story. It's really quite, it's moving is what it is. Their son, 6 years ago, 7 years of this toxic drug supply crisis that we find ourselves in. That's all coming up. Right now, it's time for every time. I love it more every single time. I'm sorry, it's the kid in me. Tax deadline day this Sunday, actually, so Monday. Even though the PSAC workers, the CRA, are on strike right now, it's an essential, so it's kind of happening a little bit slowly. But make sure your taxes are filed no later than Monday.
But you're not going to get your return probably anytime soon.
But they'll start dinging you if you owe them money effective immediately. So file your taxes.
Not fun. We're also going to talk about bail because we've talked about this on the show with prolific offenders who the revolving door, they get arrested, boop, they're back out again. So it's kind of been a finger pointing game.
A little bit.
These are some of the headlines that we saw this week.
Right.
First of all, it was sort of finger pointing at the judges. Well, hey, prosecutors are asking judges to keep these people behind bars, and more than half the time this is being rejected. That's what the premier said.
Right.
But then it turns out when you dig a little deeper that prosecutors have a role to play as well, because in fact in only 30% of the cases are they even actually asking for detention.
This all needs to change. I mean, we're talking about this on so many levels, whether it be prolific offenders or vandals or online criminal harassment. All of these situations seem to protect the perpetrators rather than the victims. And I think that's something that the government really needs to look at on a federal level, of course, for criminal code, but also in the direction to Crown and judges and prosecutors. Judges are human, they make mistakes.
I believe there's probably potentially even a prolific offender involved in this next case, and it's a fire.
This is sad.
I believe a suspicious fire at the Kids Showboat.
Oh, it's iconic.
For 90 years they've been hosting shows there. My friend Maureen Wilson walked by and took some pictures of some of the damage here. Thanks for that, Mo.
This is where Red Robinson famously invited a few teens to come down, and 20,000 showed up and did a radio show from Kids Showboat. This is an iconic spot in Kitsilano. It is so sad that anybody would vandalize this place and space the way they did, but no surprise that Mayor Ken Sim is stepping up here to try and do something about
There's
it.
a GoFundMe to rebuild this, and our mayor has dropped in a grant.
I like that.
Thank you for that.
It's a good move. It's a good move. Hey, how about the move to compensate air travelers when things go sideways? I got a couple of friends who are supposed to be going to Mexico, and they've had the worst year, and they had it booked. They're ready to go. We're finally going, and then they're going to get to Mexico, but they're flying on WestJet, and WestJet might go on strike. So it's
the pilots, right, are talking about going on strike.
Oh, man.
Well, the reality is anybody who's ever flown and the airline goes, it was weather, it's the crew time,
Sorry,
it's whatever.
it's a thing.
And you're like,
it's not our fault.
So do I get anything? No, you get diddly squat. You don't even get a bottle of water half the time. Government's saying that's not okay anymore, and they're going to make the airlines have to prove what went wrong, and it's supposed to be easier to get compensation.
Well, let's hope that that's true. As some pundits say that the loophole still exists where the airline can kind of punt it down the road a little bit, make it harder and harder and harder. Because really, it's kind of like collecting or returning an item that didn't fit right. You know, it's the onus is on us as the consumer to get reimbursed.
Well, and the other thing is that now people are saying that in fact it may make the price of flying more expensive because the airlines are going to try to claw it back from you and me. So we'll see.
Will Volkswagens get cheaper?
Oh my goodness. That was a ton of money. So
Segway?
Is it $13 billion? The federal government did not want to say how much they were going to shovel out to Volkswagen to build a battery plant in St. Thomas, Ontario. What they were doing was the Canadian government's trying to match the American grants that they're offering for these green sort of initiatives.
Pull in the business.
I don't think we're ever going to really compete with America for this stuff.
Oh, but speaking of America, we know who's now running for president.
Oh, we do indeed.
Running for president again.
Check out this video.
Every generation of Americans has faced a moment when they have to defend democracy. Stand up for our personal freedom. Stand up for the right to vote and our civil rights. And this is our moment.
Do you think he's too old?
Mick Jagger is 8 months younger than Joe Biden, and he's
Come
planning his
on.
world tour,
Really?
so I'm kind of okay with it.
Well,
and
Donald
he's the
Trump
only one
is
that's going to beat Trump right now.
Not that much younger either.
No, he's not. And let's be honest here. Joe Biden's better for America. So yeah.
Well, and
the
people who
alternative is
work
not
with
great.
him say that he's hard to keep up with. That
Right.
he is going 100 miles an hour.
I love that he says, "Don't compare me to the Almighty. Compare me to the alternative," and that's what Joe Biden's famous for saying. So there you
Indeed.
go. I just want to point out that last week we were talking about our Twitter blue check marks, and somebody on Twitter said that, well, we talked about this, but somebody on Twitter was saying how the Twitter blue check mark has now, only a week later, become the red baseball cap.
Yeah, the
of
MAGA hat.
2023.
It's like a sign of, ooh, I'm going to block you. Boop. Anyway.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
Coming up on the show, we got tons to get to, including a story that you have to see, a Courtney family who lost their son to fentanyl, to the tainted, poisonous drug supply. They're going to talk about their frustration with how the government reacts to the crisis in BC.
And also ahead, we're going to talk again about Fox News. It dumps its biggest star, but where is Tucker Carlson going to show up next? And what does it mean for the culture wars playing out in North America?